A higher severe weather threat has been issued for the southeast as multiple rounds of rain move our way. Hi, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Justus watching this threat as we move forward here because we're going to see quite a bit of heavy rainfall, but with storms. The severe weather threat has been expanded a little bit toward the east with general thunderstorms today, but tomorrow that threat more solidly placed from central Florida up through the Carolinas into Georgia and Tennessee as some feisty storms will form. And it's not only that, but it's also Friday with a new highlighted area that we need to keep an eye on. There's a lot cooking right now. In fact, there's a couple of different low pressure systems that are going to intensify to give us that threat for some severe weather. So let's break it down closely here for you. If you're new to the channel, please let me know right now in the comment section where you're watching from. It helps me help you out. And speaking of that, we've got some storms to watch across the area here as we're looking at some rain across the radar. I've seen severe weather and some other storms pop up mainly back toward the west today, closer to that low pressure system over parts of New Orleans, parts of Louisiana, just some general rain. I think that's probably going to be the case for the Carolinas today. More turn the windshield wipers on 1 or 2 notches kind of rain, but nothing too widespread. The storm threat, though, will grow tomorrow as we see just a different pattern setup. So I've got the forecast top of your screen, some cities that'll highlight there and give you an idea of what you can expect. But the severe weather risk here is going to grow, especially tomorrow across the southeast. You see that new highlighted area from Orlando up through Savannah, Georgia, into Athens, Greenville, Spartanburg, Anderson, Asheville, back through the west. This area will need to be watched. And then on Friday, just about all of us have a chance for storms and rain, but the higher severe weather threat will be here across the I-95 corridor between Columbia and Charleston, Hilton Head, Savannah, down through Jacksonville, Cape Canaveral, Daytona Beach, west toward Gainesville. This area will need to be watched in Panama City as well. Let's unpack it with a brand new computer model here. So just some regular old rain. Could there be some thunder embedded in this? Absolutely. But right now it looks like just some nuisance type rain today. Could be heavier at times, especially along the I-20 corridor today from Augusta to Columbia, Greenwood, Abbeville counties, really south of 85. But tomorrow we kind of regroup the atmosphere. The atmosphere gets a lot more unstable and it gets a lot more potent for thunderstorms. In this case, we see the chance for some storms forming by the afternoon. But this environment with the low pressure system that's back toward the west, it shows more of a sign of giving us some late evening and maybe even overnight rumbles of thunder. This would be 3 a.m. Thursday night going into Friday with the potential of some storms across the area. Some of them could be on the strong side. Do I think it has the capacity to be severe, big time overnight? No. But could it make some noise? Yes. Some heavy rain, some thunder, some lightning. That would be the case as we go into our Thursday night, Friday's time frame. And there's plenty of storm fuel to work with. Look at this activity here compared to today. Almost no storm fuel, with us being kind of cooler, cloudy, rainier here across the western Carolinas. But that storm fuel begins to grow and build to where by Thursday, we've got middle of summer type fuel. We've got some joules of CAPE. That's the measurement of it. Basically gasoline for storms, close to 2,000 across the western Carolinas, close to 3,000 here across central Georgia. Think hot, humid. That's going to be plenty of enough to give us some storms, not only Thursday, but Thursday night. This is the fuel available at 4 a.m. in the morning. Yikes. I mean, up around 3,000 back here toward Alabama, close to 1,500 across the western Carolinas. So it's one of those situations where not only during the day, but at night you could get it. How about the pattern as a whole? I know you've got weddings. I've heard weddings. I've heard graduations. I've heard graduation parties. You've got to plan these things. And unfortunately, for all the commencements going on, there's going to be some form of rain that forms Friday and Saturday. It's just not going to be all out a washout. Let's try to pinpoint the totals because look at this rain through the next 5 to 7 days. It looks like a complete soaker here, where some of the models here are showing, especially into early next week, this will go through next Wednesday, about a week out. So 7 days out, I've got the possibility here of 6 inches of rain across the western Carolinas, 4, 5, 6, maybe even close to 10 inches for a week total here, Atlanta south. I mean, this is going to be quite the soaking coming in. But is it every second of the day? No. Let's show you where it goes. So majority of the rain, you see here through Thursday, we've got about 1/4 of an inch. So we're not expecting a lot of heavy rain through the next 24 hours until we get some thunderstorms. That will add to some locally higher amounts here and there. But as we get into early next week, especially Monday, Tuesday, this is Sunday night at 8 p.m. through Tuesday. mean, we're talking about big rain here. And as I expand this out to the latest computer model, it gets us out a week out, 7 days out. You're showing 4, 5, 6 inches of rain. Look a little bit closer to the Western Carolinas. I mean, we're talking 3 inches of good soaking rain across Greenville, 2.5 to 3 across Asheville, Hendersonville, Lake Lure, back through Chimney Rock, some of these typical trouble spots where the upslope flow gets you. We're talking about 3 to 5 plus inches of rain here across the Savannah River, from Kiowee to Jocassee through Hartwell. I mean, this could be quite a bit of rainfall, but it's not every second of the day. Let's try to pinpoint that out because I know you've got graduations. I know there's just a lot going on. So as we look closer at that, I mean, it's going to come in waves. So as we go into Thursday, there's, of course, some storms forming late in the day. Let's go to Friday. Here's 10 a.m. in the morning. I mean, there's some rain across the area, but it's not a washout. Let's go into that afternoon. Here is 8 p.m. on Friday. Now, there's rain around, but it's not just pouring every single place and just washing us out completely. That's not going to be the case. I know a lot of commencements are 4, 5, 6 o'clock. Here's 5 o'clock. There's some rain across the area. Let's switch over to the GFS model. Let's just compare the models. Composite reflectivity. I mean, here's 5 o'clock on the GFS model. There's some storms out there, but like the summertime, they're going to be sporadic and pop up. So I would not cancel plans. I would have a contingency to know that you might get wet at some of these graduations, but the majority of the rain is going to be south of the upstate Friday and Saturday. That said, overnight, here's 11 o'clock. We could have some of it try to skirt up to the I-85 corridor. Here's Saturday morning, 8 a.m. You got heavy rain, I-40 south on this model, 11 a.m. Here's 2 p.m. I mean, so Saturday is going to feature some rain that could be heavy at times. Same story Sunday, Mother's Day. All right, we've got 8 a.m., some showers, 9, 10, 11 o'clock. By the evening, looks like some of those yellows are popping up across the upstate. That would be just really heavy rainfall. And that kickstart the pattern to where by Monday, we're really turning on the rain where it's getting quite heavy across the area. And we get a lot of that rain to map out our way. So simply put, it looks to be wet over the next few days with storms, with heavy rainfall. And that higher severe weather threat has been issued for tomorrow, Thursday. So be on guard for gusty winds, possibility of some hail and some lightning. As for Mother's Day weekend, have some activities planned indoors because there will be some rain. But is it a washout? No. Are you going to be soaked every second of the day? No. We'll have to keep a close eye on just when those impacts move through. Have a great day, everybody. I'll keep you posted.